this Anglia Sports Special, which comes tonight from a packed Portman Road, Ipswich. Cup football with Wembley very much in sight for both these teams. This is a quarter-final of the Coca-Cola Cup, Ipswich versus Sheffield Wednesday, with the winner to play Blackburn in a two-leg semi-final. Chris Kiwomya has been Ipswich Town's matchwinner a few times this season. He's been their saviour a few times too, and they'll never need his pace and goals more than they will tonight. Ipswich, with a growing reputation of being very hard to beat, come into this one after 2 consecutive Premier League defeats, including their first at home. Not only that, they're without the services of the versatile Mickey Stockwell. Frank Yallop starts only his second game of the season. But the good news is John Walker's passed the last-minute fitness test on a groin injury which has been troubling him for a month. His experience will be very valuable here. Chris Waddle is one of a handful of talented attacking players in the Wednesday lineup. He might not have scored a Premier League goal since his return from France, but he's creating havoc and chances. In contrast to Ipswich, Wednesday have turned round erratic form and have won their last 4 games, 3 of them away from home. Illness to Roland Nielsen brings in Paul Warhurst at number 2. They're probably better in attack than defence, but the combination of Hurst and Bright often gets them out of trouble. Mark Bright now being talked of as an England prospect, 14 goals this season, and he's scored in every round of this competition. Referee is Terry Holbrook from Wolverhampton, a last-minute replacement for Philip Don. It's his first visit here for 7 years, and it's a great occasion. So a big prize at stake. The two-leg semi-final will mean something close to £500,000 for tonight's winner. Blustery conditions again, but probably the money is the last thing they're thinking of at the moment. Alongside me, Paul Mariner, winner of 2 Cup Winners' medals for Ipswich, as well as a lot of other honours. Paul, what do you think the key issues will be here tonight?
Well, Jared, the 2 issues that have been concerning me for most of the day is can the Ipswich defence look after Bright and Hurst and Waddle, and can the Sheffield Wednesday defence, can they look after Chris Kiwomya? Just having a look at the way that the teams are setting up now, it looks as though Ipswich are going to play a flat back 4. There was talk of them playing a sweep at the back, but it looks as though Frank Yallop has slipped into the right back position.
With Harks over on this left-hand side, Waddle is over on the right-hand side, with Gavin Johnson, looks as if he's keeping an eye on him at the moment. Here's Chris Woods, finding a good touch. The pitch is soggy, it could well cut up. They've had, like everywhere else, a tremendous amount of rain here. And Chris Woods, of course, well known in the area. And goes Quenchip immediately on Shirtliff. Back for Williams, who's playing in the number 4 shirt. Johnson has sneaked up on the left-hand side. Got back to Thompson. Thompson can drive it in. Knocked away by the captain, Nigel Pearson, and the crowd roars. First corner. John Walker's in there. Gazelle too. Kiwomya lurking. Lenigan is coming in from the back. Up he goes. Gazelle couldn't control it, and it's away by Waddle. Somehow Williams got it in. Sheridan gets it away. Waddle picks it up. Thompson has it. Johnson's come to the right-hand side, but he couldn't get it. So a flurry of activity in the Sheffield Wednesday half, with Thompson driving forward well on the left-hand side, and an early touch for Clive Baker. Another of the happy scorers in the Ipswich lineup. Whitten leaps. Forward goes Yallop. Kiwomya does well to get the throw-in off Irish international Worthington. And there's space for Yallop. Knocked forward to Kiwomya, a little touch, not quite enough. Tacky conditions here, Paul, will that make a little bit of difference?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a perfect night for football. All the boys, I was speaking to most of the Ipswich boys before the game, and they were saying how much they were looking forward to this encounter. It's a beautiful, clear, cold night, and the pitch looks to me to be in reasonably good condition. Interesting point already is the Steve Whitney's causing problems already in the air for the left back Worthington of Sheffield Wednesday.
There's Whitten now picking it up. Sheridan got in well there, and Worthington gets it away to the American John Harkes. And forward goes Bright, he's got behind the defence. Out comes Baker. Waddle has hold of it. Johnson tries to close him down. Harkes has come over on the right-hand side, but Waddle turns his man beautifully. Sheridan. Waddle again. Johnson trying to keep him out there. With a panic there.
Fantastic skills by Chris Waddle. I think a lot of the people that have come to the game tonight are looking forward to seeing him play tonight.
Waddle, no space, but lovely control and a good cross. It's a great one, and 5'9", Clive Baker plucks it out confidently. He's going to be a handful.
He's a marvellous player. He's taken a little bit of time to adjust back to the Premier League pace, but now I think that Trevor Francis is getting very, very pleased with him, and he's playing marvellously.
He's out to Thompson. Johnson goes wide, leaving a gap for Thompson to get into. Runs into Sheridan, and back it goes again from Hurst. Woods has to be careful.
I think Chris Woods thinks he's Rob Andrew tonight. He keeps finding touch very, very well.
Kiwomya turns. Great stuff is held. That's a foul by Pearson.
There's the strength of Chris Kiwomya. Ball played in with his back to goal. The defender's a little bit too tight. He turns in quite easily. And now we've got a very dangerous situation as far as Sheffield Wednesday are concerned.
Well, Thompson with the left foot. John Wall. What do you think?
It looks like it's Johnny Walk to me, right foot bender, top corner.
Walk. Not far off.
Well, it's amazing. Johnny, he admits to being 34 or 35, but here he is with his right foot strike. You could see he hit it with the instep, tried to bend it into Chris Wood's left-hand corner.
Johnson gives it back to him. It breaks to Danny Wilson. Hurst holds it up well. It's a ball into space which Yallop should get. Of course, enjoying a little bit of first-team football. It's been hard for him on the sidelines as the club and the team develop.
I know Frank's been a little bit frustrated about the season today, but Mickey Stockwell's been having his best season so far for the club. He's been playing fantastically well.
It's interesting that John Lyle and Mick McGivern have left Longfield Wheel on the bench. But here's Kiwomya in for Dazelle. Was half a chance.
Fantastic play down the right by Chris Kiwomya. Held the play up, had a look up, squared it to Dazelle, who I would think will be rather disappointed that he didn't hit the target. It's a very clear-cut chance here. I think running back to the halfway line may be very disappointed.
Dazelle gets that one unchallenged. Pearson, Worthington, not a particularly good clearance. Johnson and Linnigan. Oh, that's a difficult one for Linnigan. Clears under pressure. Johnson turns his man well. Wide to Whitten. Forward to Kiwomya. Kiwomya again. Wilson's come back to help and hacks it away. He's attracting the ball like a magnet.
He's a thorn in the side of Sheffield Wednesday up to date.
John Walk coming up to support. It's a difficult ball. Worthington gets it away, but Whitten's in there. Gwenchev and Whitten on the back pass. Well, he got it away and he found the man. More by luck than judgment. That's a better pass. And good control by Bright. Sheridan to Paul Warhurst, who's creeping up. Waddle has crept into the middle. That's Waddle. Warhurst is going forward. Here's Hurst. Well, David Hurst perhaps prefers the left foot, but that was a good build-up and good opening.
It was an excellent piece of skill by Chris Waddle, flicking the ball up with the left boot. Here he goes, flicks it up into space, causing problems for Thompson. And Hurst very quick onto it, right foot shot, just wide.
And if it's a draw here, of course we go into a replay. Thompson with the throw. Giselle is trying to get away from Harks, who's keeping an eye on him. This is Kiwomya with Shirtliff going over to him. Thompson does well. Good turn, beats Waddle. Thompson. Oh, there's a beautiful bit of play. What about the cross?
Well, he had people free on the far post.
There's another one as Gwentip goes in.
Fantastic skills by Thompson. He was just a little bit unfortunate. He drove the ball hard across the face of the goal, but unfortunately for him, the Ipswich players were on the back post, just wanted a little chip, and unfortunately didn't care. He went for the drive.
And here's Thompson and Bright. Hurst gets in there well, and Sheffield Wednesday are through here with Harks getting into the middle, and that's a corner, their first of the game.
Dangerous situation for Ipswich Town. Sheffield Wednesday very, very strong in this area.
With Shirtliff and Pearson going up, one of them usually goes for the flick on the near post, and then there's all sorts of trouble behind them. Shirtliff is coming to it, Pearson gets up and away by Johnson as Baker struggled. And there's still trouble here as Waddle takes on his man, bamboozles him, crosses it well. Baker in trouble again, and it's knocked out by Thompson. They're really wobbling here, but indeed the linesman's flag had gone this side for an infringement, but certainly
Chris Waddle
did the trick.
Waddle showing great skill, left foot, right foot. He's not bothered. He's got tremendous skills with both feet, and Clive Baker just quite wanted, moves the ball away.
Bright tries to knock it down for Hurst. Linningham gets it away. There's a little bit of pressure on Thompson by Waddle. Thompson does superbly. To Gavin Johnson. Thompson's gone up in support. Down the left-hand side is Kiwomya. Powerful challenge from the big fellow in the centre, Captain Pearson, who also captained them at Wembley a couple of years ago. But now organising the defence for the long throw as Linningham gets in. He's beaten by Shirtley. Johnson tried to get Thompson to go down the left, but I think Thompson was expecting a short ball to him, and it's broken down.
Just a misunderstanding by the Johnson and Thompson there. Happens sometimes. You can get away with one a match.
Another throw. And Steve Whitten's up there, and that's knocked off for a corner. That's something of a bonus. Second corner for Ipswich. Steve Whitten to whistle it in with his right foot. Walk on the near post. Linningham at the back. Linningham gets up here, but good defending. There's a clash of heads, and the ball is kicked out. And that's Pearson, who did very well to get at Linningham for that challenge and put him off. Is how it happened?
As the ball comes in from Whitten, brave challenge by Linningham, and two equally brave challenges from Pearson and it looks like Hurst.
They've had a few central defenders this season at Sheffield Wednesday. Viv Anderson, of course, has been used by Trevor Francis. So too has Warhurst, as well as Shirtliff, of course. Whitten doesn't want to get himself offside. Kiwomya's done a good job, but couldn't get it over. Worthington hacks it away. That was a bad seriously hurt in a situation like that. That was a nasty one. John Wall picks himself up, dusts himself off. Bright offers him his hand, and it's forgotten. But that could have been nasty because he fell into a bricked area head first.
Well, for me, that's the measure of the man. A lot of players would have made a meal of that, but not Johnny Wall. Gets up, ultimate professional, plays on, shakes hands with the guy.
Great challenge by Thompson. Forward goes Gwenchev. And Pearson again, key player at the back for Sheffield Wednesday in the first half, does a fine job. But it's a lively finish to this first period. Long throw in from Thompson. Dazelle is beaten by Paul Warhurst. Back they go again for another throw. Tight marking as ever. That's been the story of this first half. Williams. Thompson. On the right-hand side, Yallop is calling for it. Yallop is driving forward. What a good run. Can he get the cross in? It's a great effort. And Dazelle with a header which was deflected away. The best move of the game so far for Ipswich.
Lovely flowing move here by Ipswich. Thompson plays the ball wide. Fabulous run from Yallop up wide. Marvellous cross in. And Dazelle finding himself free in the box, which is so good at just wide.
Dazelle placed in that goal area on the near post as Ipswich go for first blood here. Good deep corner from Thompson. Johnson back in, and away by Hurst of all people. Well, Hurst is still defending the back there. Kiwami's against him, and it's Paul Warhurst to go with it.
Some of fancy would be a little bit concerned there. Hurst marking Kiwami in the box. Would have been a penalty.
Just over 2 minutes before the break, Ipswich not in control exactly, but certainly with their tails up. Lobbed in, and Lenigan couldn't get there. Backing by Johnson. The flag was up anyhow, so that comes to nothing in more ways than one. So what do you think the two managers or coaches will be saying at half-time, Paul?
If it goes in as it is now, 0-0, I would think that Mick McGivern will be quite pleased because Sheffield Wednesday have had most of the play. Waddle's looking very dangerous down the right-hand side.
Walk, and Bright goes in on that one. Walk caught out by the bounce, not sure which way to hit it, and Shirtliff tries to get one in. It's a bad cross by Sheridan rather. Should have done better than that, and Gavin Johnson tries to get one through the middle. That was short-lived, and this is Pearson. Warhurst to Sheridan. That's another giveaway. And it's fallen into erratic ways again. That's a nice little ball forward from Williams. And forward goes Kiwami. Just knocked out by Warhurst. You don't knock about with it when Kiwami's in there. Gwenchev gets it back to Thompson. Wide to Gavin Johnson. Can he get a decent cross in? Well, it comes to Williams, who does well to get there first. But it's cleared by Danny Wilson as we move into time added on in this first half. As Clive Baker thumps the ball forward. Frank Yallop, who's settled into the side very well. Worthington, Walk challenging, does well to control an awkward ball. And it's a fine pass to Kiwami. Dozell gets in there. Gavin Johnson is on the left foot, he drives it, and it's wide, but it's looking better.
Much better approach play by Ipswich Town there. Johnson there with the shot, but Dazelle and Kiwami were involved. They played very, very well together. It's a good omen for Ipswich Town that they've been taking the game to Sheffield Wednesday over the past 3 or 4 minutes.
The rain coming down here, and it's not running that freely, and you've got to go a bit to beat Chris Woods from that distance. Minute into time added on as the whistle from Terry Holbrook goes for the end of the first half. Well, it's been a frustrating cup tie. I think everybody expected that. There's not too much open play, a lot of fierce competition, some good defensive play by both sides, hard work in midfield. Chris Waddle has been a danger man, but this one is still very much in the balance. The half-time score here at Portman Road is Ipswich 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Join us again for the second half after the break. Welcome back to Portman Road for the second half of this Coca-Cola Cup quarter-final. Sheffield Wednesday kick-off. They haven't got a particularly good record here. They won their last game in the 90-91 season 2-0. But Paul Mariner, you played with Chris Waddle in the England side. Do you still think he's a potential match winner here?
Yes, I think most certainly, Jerry. He's had a marvellous first half. He's been the one player on the field that's been able to get the ball down and look very, very dangerous and use it intelligently. But having said that, I feel that Ipswich Town have got a potential match with Chris Kiwami. He's had a very, very busy first half and causing problems for the Sheffield Wednesday defence the whole of the first half with his runs and his pace over the top.
And quite often this season, which has very much been a learning process for Ipswich, they've had much better second halves than they have first halves. Frank Yallop's done a good job at right back. They do miss, of course, the zest of Mickey Stockwell, but quite often they've shown considerable character in the second 45 minutes. They certainly did that in the last cup tie, the last round against Aston Villa.
Now with the rain absolutely teeming down, we may get our first sight of a goal by a defensive mistake. The defences have been very, very strong on both sides.
I think the back passes have been the biggest problems in the first half. Johnson getting it down the line with Pearson clearing. He had a fine first half. That's not a particularly good start to the second. They won it again. Away by Danny Wilson. Yallop in there nicely. Dazelle, Kiwami bursting through it. This is looking good. Warhurst gets in, he goes down. The referee shakes his head. No penalty. Warhurst knew he was going across him. Is this a penalty or not, Paul?
Well, tremendous strength here by Chris Kiwami, showing his strength in his game, going at defenders, and I would say that that's as near a penalty as you'll ever get. Sheffield Wednesday very, very fortunate to get away with that decision.
But Kiwami doesn't get a penalty. The referee looked a little bit long at it, then shook his head, and the game goes on. Pearson, no back pass, of course.
As a defender, you'll never get a moment's rest with Kiwami in the side playing against you.
A little bit of wetness on the surface won't do any harm as Dazelle tries to get away from Wilson. Bounces off Waddle, he gets it away rather poorly to Linnigan. Hurst is onto him. Terrific pace at the start of this second half as Worthington gets it, sticks on his boot and finds John Harkes down the left-hand side. Hurst couldn't possibly get that. Bright chases back. So does Dazelle. They're not hanging about with the tackles here. Johnson, lovely control. He's under pressure and gets away from Waddle superbly. Linnigan keeps cool. And the turf and the soggy pitch didn't help Thompson there. Bright to Waddle, quickly to John Sheridan. Hard one down the right-hand side to Warhurst. This is looking good for Sheffield Wednesday as Harkes goes to the near post. And there's a goal there! Driven in by John Sheridan. A terrific run on the right-hand side by Warhurst. And coming through to stab it over the line was Irishman Sheridan.
Tremendous ball played through by Chrissy Waddle initially, and then Warhurst making an overlap, goes to the byline, has a look up, lovely composure, chips the ball over the first man, which is most important, and there's John Sheridan, midfield player, scoring from what, 2 or 3 yards. It's a fantastic goal.
Nobody getting anywhere near Warhurst. A difficult cross, a brave header, and Sheffield Wednesday are in the lead. Sheridan against the run of the play, but 4 minutes into the second half puts him into the lead. Well, let's have another look at this goal. Sheridan has, of course, got the winner when they won at Wembley a couple of years ago, and here's the goal that puts them into the lead here. Won by Shirtliff, Sheridan. Hurst and Waddle. Hurst has gone charging forward and hacked away by Thompson. It's a terrific run. And that's too strong.
Waddle roving all over the field now. He's creating problems for Ipswich Town. He's not only staying on the right wing, but he's also floating and popping up in positions which are very dangerous for the Ipswich Town defence.
He must be well pleased with the way things are going here. Right controls it, appeals for a handball, but it was pretty high up on his chest and shoulder. It's a good ball forward again to Hurst. They're playing some football here, but too strong from Danny Wilson. Danny Wilson, of course, former Luton Town captain, played in 3 League Cup finals. Locked on for Chris Kiwomya. Oh, that was a surprise. Route 1, if ever I saw it.
Well, maybe that's what it takes to break down the Sheffield Wednesday defence. Punch up there, nice little flick. Kiwomya doing what he does best, trying to read the flick. Just caught it on his knee and just wide. Unlucky.
Really zipping off that wet surface with Wood struggling. Thompson with the in-swinger. Linigan making a run. Walk making a run. Gazelle. Oh, good save. That was right on the near post and Woods got down brilliantly. Johnson back in. Linigan knocks it on. Kiwomya over the top for Gwenche. Down he goes. Is that a penalty? No. He certainly fell like a ton of bricks. He knocks it on. The Bulgarian goes for a difficult ball, goes for the bounce, and then down he comes.
Well, Ipswich Town, that's the second appeal they've had this evening for a penalty, and I'm afraid, from a Sheffield Wednesday point of view, that, in my opinion, that was the second penalty that should have been given this evening. Winchester did ever so well.
Will that give them heart? Will that depress them? Thompson into trouble. No, it does well against Johnson. Worthington gets up his Whitten, who wins it. This is a good spell by Ipswich, but now it's the break by Sheffield Wednesday. Hurst against Walk, and Hurst is too quick. Hurst with a chance at the second. Bright is square, and he misses. What a terrible miss by David Hurst, because Mark Bright was completely free on his right-hand side.
Well, that's the danger for Ipswich Town. They hit the post earlier. This was miss a great save. And here we see at the other end, Hurst showing his incredible pace to get by Johnny Ward. He goes in, he's got all the time in the world. Bryce making a fabulous run alongside him, and he puts it wide.
What a ghastly miss, and he's injured as well. So double pain there. John Walk almost caught out, but they're off the hook at least. Delighted to see that one go over the top.
Here we go with the corner. Good corner from Thompson. And there we see a fantastic save by Woods.
And coming on is 18-year-old Chris Williams, a very talented young player from Leyton Orient originally. He's got plenty of experience at this level already. Kiwomya turning. Forward goes Jason Gazelle. Worthington gets it away rather poorly to Johnson. Williams wide to Whitten, and Yallop have come too far forward, but Walker's in there fast. And goes Woods. Holds it comfortably. Well, he made 3 key saves at Cambridge last week in the cup that denied Cambridge certain goals. He's done 1 here. Harkson up and under, and Bright is onside. Good punch by Baker. The decision has gone against Ipswich. It's all falling apart here.
Chris Waller got up to play alongside Bright, and Bart Williams just dropped into midfield.
It was a good opening. Was he offside or not? It was a brave punch though. Walt gets it away. That's a great header. Sheffield Wednesday have got another injured player. It's Bright this time. He comes back from an offside position. Bart Williams goes forward. Bright really not contesting this game at the moment. Sheffield Wednesday in a little bit of trouble physically, but they lead by 1 goal to 0. Jason Gazelle tumbles as the ball goes wide to Gavin Johnson. Kiwomia is running hard and fast. Slips, recovers, wins it back against Pearson, turns him, needs help. Johnson parks us onto Warhurst is onto him, and that's a corner. Fifth corner for Ipswich. Wright seems to have recovered. They need him at the back now because Walk and Lennigan are up there as Ipswich press for the equaliser. Wynn's kick is a good one. Oh, and somehow that was scrambled away by a flaying foot. Pearson got in there, but it looks as if Sheffield Wednesday will get the kick.
Terrible defending here by Sheffield Wednesday. Let the ball bounce on the 6-yard box. Trevor Francis won't be very pleased about that.
Substitution about to be made by Ipswich Town. Gavin Johnson is coming off, and Vlado Bozinovski, the Australian Yugoslav, is going on. It's been a hard game for Johnson. Now Bozinovski, new to this level of British football, of course, will try his luck. Bozinovski, difficult challenge, got forward well, hard one, Gazelle, Winchef. Oh, they were in trouble there as Worthington got it away. Yallop's pushed up to support. Williams is here, another one into the area. And Warhurst doing well to keep possession. Thompson got a little touch. Williams getting into the game much more. Witten, and here comes Kiwomia as Gazelle tried to knock it in front of him. Waddle can't get that. This is a good building spell by Ipswich, and they're going to make another change.
Quite the Yallop coming off there. He's done a reasonably good job tonight. This is probably his first game for quite some time in the first team. Whelan's coming on, so they're obviously going to reorganise at the back possibly and shove people forward more and more in the pursuit of the equaliser.
So Phil Whelan comes on and immediately goes forward into a striking position. Today by Shirtliff. Gazelle is back into midfield with Whelan up on a wide position at the moment, with Kiwomia up here chasing this one. No point in falling over there, he won't get a penalty.
Not on that occasion, but earlier in the evening he may have a case for the penalty.
Bart Williams, difficult swirling ball, it's good control. There's nobody going to chase that though. Baker comes out of his area. We've got 8 minutes of the game left, and it's still Sheffield Wednesday leading by that 1 goal. Good aerial power there by Pearson. But here's Winchef with a chance, and down he goes, and this time it is a penalty. Well, that looked more innocuous than the other ones, but the referee points to the spot after Shirtliff had knocked into him.
Well, if you're an Ipswich Town supporter, 1 out of 3 at this present moment isn't too bad. As you say, that's probably the most innocuous of the evening, but none of the Ipswich Town supporters are going to argue with that decision.
Although the Sheffield Wednesday players are going to argue with it, and Pearson is the last to make his point, although 1 or 2 have gone over to referee Terry Holbrook to make their points. But with just over 7 minutes of the game left, there's a chance here for Steve Whitten to put Ipswich Town level in this quarter-final. He's done it. A pressure kick there.
Steve Whitten taking over this season as the chief penalty taker and doing a great job for Ipswich Town. Semi-quick. Here we go. Up it goes, high score, the coolest man in the park. Turns Chris Woods the wrong way. Ecstasy for the Ipswich supporters.
Well, it's the old story. If he'd have stood where he was, he'd have got it, but that's impossible for a goalkeeper to do that. And it's 1-1. Linnigan. Wilson. Oh, the hunt's going to be on here in the closing minutes as Harks has got through for Wednesday. They're in with a chance of a winner. And Waddle holding his hands in anguish as the cross was not low when he wanted it high. Now, can Ipswich produce something in the last few seconds? Offside against Squincher. Well, Harks got through well here. A lot of players in support, but perhaps it wasn't the perfect cross. Good covering by Linnigan, though. Would have been hard to find Chris Waddle with a decent ball. Ozanowski does well. Forward goes Gwenchek. He's outmanned out there. What can he do with it? He gets a good cross in, and Whelan went for it. Oh, that's not a particularly good one by Danny Wilson, but he gets it away in the end. And in fact, it's a good ball to Bright, who holds it up well. Support from Warhurst. Linnigan is in there. Appeals, half-hearted appeals for handball. No chance of that being given by the referee. Wednesday are panicking a little bit here. Warhurst does well to knock it down to Bart Williams. Over anxious, that pass forward. Shirtlift, Linnigan, keep cool. It wouldn't be a disaster, a draw here. And forward goes Kiwomya. And was that a back pass? According to the referee, no, it wasn't. It was the deflection. It certainly came off a Sheffield Wednesday foot. And
I think the referee was absolutely right. The ball skipped off the player's boot. I think that would have been a very harsh decision.
Warhurst picks up the loose ball. Waddle goes for it. Good control. John Hall goes in hard, but Waddle wins that little contest. Waddle again. Oh, that's great stuff. And another good one. Waddle, a bit of virtuosity here. Bart Williams helps out. And they lose it. Whelan now. Numbers forward. And, well, that was a bad bit of control. That was a giveaway. Sheffield Wednesday going forward again, looking for the winner. Offside. Flag is up over the far side as a knee and a boot went in from Mark Bright.
Well, speaking from an attacking point of view, as an ex-striker myself, you've got to look after yourself up there. There's so many people coming for you, and I think, to be fair to Bright, the Ipswich player came on his blind side and caught him. I think it's caught him in the ribs, which is going to be very painful tomorrow morning, that's for sure.
2 minutes of time added on here now as Whelan goes for this one, and Kiwomya can win it! But Warhurst does a great job. Good defending by Paul Warhurst. Kiwomya's quick, but Warhurst is just as quick, and there indeed is the final whistle. This quarter-final will now go to a replay. Well, it was a dramatic second half, and when the goal scoring started in the 49th minute from John Sheridan, Sheffield Wednesday looked as if they were heading for the two-leg semi-finals. But Ipswich reorganised, they reshaped, they had a couple of penalties denied, and then they got another penalty in the closing moments, and Steve Whitten kept his nerve and equalised. After that, there were a couple of chances, all of it higgledy-piggledy and a little bit rushed, but Great cup tie atmosphere here, and it's not over yet. The replay at Hillsborough early in February. As the rain comes down, Sheffield Wednesday will be happy with that result. Ipswich are still in the cup. They played better, but they showed courage and they came back. Let's join Kevin Piper down on the pitch.
Well, Steve, that was some battle in the end.
Yeah, it was a great cup tie. It was a very even game, I thought. Yeah, and I thought we deserved to get back into the game, but you know, we just kept plugging away at half-time and we knew it would come.
Now, what about the penalty? Because you had two what appeared to be clearer appeals before you got the one that counted.
I think a few of the lads are saying that we should have had more than one penalty, really. We got the penalty in the end, which I thought we deserved, and you know, lucky enough to put it away.
And now it's back again. Do it all again at Hillsborough.
Yeah, it should be a good atmosphere up there, so I look forward to that one.
Well done.
Thank you.
So, frustration and relief for Ipswich supporters as they make their way home in the rain. A Wembley trip is still on in this competition, but there will be a replay. Paul Mariner, it didn't look too good for them, though, at the beginning of the second half when Sheffield Wednesday went into the lead.
No, that's correct. Mike Bright picking the ball up on the halfway line here, showing composure. Chris Waddle just inside him, being available all night. There he goes. Nice vision, touches the ball beautifully in the path of Sheridan, I think it is. And he in turn knocks it wide to Warhurst, who's come on a support run wide. No Ipswich Town defenders around, and he has plenty of time to compose himself, flick the ball up, misses the first man, and the ball ends up into the net by Sheridan. A fabulous run by him, and a marvellous goal from Sheffield's point of view.
But Ipswich kept battling, and Paul, should they have got a penalty here?
Well, having looked at it initially, yes, I would think it was, and having looked at it again twice, I'm convinced now that this was a penalty. Fantastic skills by Kiwombi. This is why clubs are looking at this guy, and this is why Mick McGivern's so excited about him. He attacks the defence, and in my opinion, Warhurst bowls him over, and that's a penalty.
Well, the referee didn't give that one, and he didn't give this one either when Gwenchev goes down. What do you think of this one?
Lundigan heads on, good skill by Kiwombi, putting it back into the danger area. And up goes Gunchev, very brave, boots are flying, he brings it down, and yet again, it looks as though it's Pearson that barges into him. In my opinion, that's another penalty. The referee didn't see it that way, obviously, but Sheffield Wednesday breathe a sigh of relief and get away with it.
So Sheffield Wednesday are still leading by 1-0 at this stage, and when goalscorer John Sheridan knocks it forward here, Paul, it should have been an opportunity for them to make it 2-0 and wrap it up.
Yes, Bright does ever so well. He has a look, flicks the ball inside to Hurst. Hurst gambles, flicks it by Johnny Walker, who knows he's struggling with a groin injury. He goes by him with tremendous pace, settles himself, and as you can see at the bottom of the picture, Bright comes in. Hurst should have scored it to him, he didn't do, decided to shoot and put it wide.
And in the closing moments, Ipswich Town got a break.
Yes, the ball pumped forward here to Gunchev, who first touch lets him down a little bit, but the defender comes barging in, pushes him in the back, and the referee sees it as a penalty.
I thought we deserved to get a draw, you know. Although they had a lot of the play and all that, we didn't play as well as we have been playing, but we battled away. I thought we were dead and buried, but we kept going, and we got the goal we deserved, I thought.
It was hard work in the conditions, especially when you're carrying a bit of a groin strain.
Yeah, I've had this groin strain for about a month on and off, and the pitch doesn't do any good, you know. The pitch is very heavy, but I managed to get through the game okay. I had a little bit of touch of cramp, but that's because of no training.
A little bit of touch of something when David Hurst nearly turned you inside out there.
Yeah, as I say, I was a bit lucky to stay in the field, to be honest, but he done us a favour, staying on his feet, and because he had a chance to score. And I think Clive Baker done well because he stood up and he missed his chance.
So that wraps up the show for the moment, and we still don't know who will be playing Blackburn Rovers in the semi-final. The story goes on. From Paul Mariner and myself, Jerry Harrison, thanks for joining us. Good night.